Hello and all, welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one we're talking UFC 314 main event, Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopes. We're going to get into this fight, the odds of both gentlemen winning this fight. Before getting started, make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel, your channel, the one and only MMA Vision Analysis. Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopes. It may seem like Alexander Volkanovski would have the upper hand in this particular situation. If I'm not mistaken, according to the odd makers, Alexander Volkanovski is favorite to win this fight. And obviously, the way they come up with these conclusions is that they look at past performances and predict the future. Now, obviously, Alexander Volkanovski, last two times around, was handed terrible losses. Despite the fact, odd makers still have the guy favorite to win the fight. Obviously, we are talking about Volkanovski here. The reason why somebody would pick Volkanovski is because he has obviously a high fight IQ. He's a well-rounded fighter, accurate striker, right? And powerful striker indeed. That's Volka on his best day. That's what the odd makers forgot to put in specifically, right? Diego Lopes, right? The guy that's coming in, the underdog somehow, right? I do understand how he's the underdog, but all I'm saying is that realistically, Diego Lopes is not the underdog. It's Alexander Volkanovski that is the underdog. I mean, no disrespect to anybody here, right? I'm just analyzing the fight from my point of view, right? And at the end of the day, we're going to have to wait till the fight unfolds to truly know whose scenario played out most accurately, right? After all, everybody made fun of the prediction of, I forget Alex Pereira's opponent, Jamal Hill, for UFC 313, and it was pretty much spot on, right? So we all have points of views, and we have imaginations how fights can unfold in our imaginations. Obviously, odd makers have Volka winning this fight for the reasons we mentioned above. Look, this is going to be a close fight nonetheless, but I would have to say that a Diego Lopes, who's on a 4 or 5 fight winning streak, the younger fighter, the bigger fighter out of the two, and the one with the momentum, right, is, for me, going to give Alexander Volkanovski a real run for his money. If Volka was to win this fight, it's either you put this guy away, meaning Diego Lopes, or you use your fight IQ and you prevent damage, you manipulate every minute of that fight to your benefit and win a decision that way. I just don't see that happening. Can it go to 5 rounds? Absolutely. But in all, to be 100% realistic, looking at the two fighters, there's no chances going 5 rounds. I mean, the odds are very low, slim to none that it's going to 5. The two styles are just extremely, let's say, explosive fighting terms, right? And I highly doubt that this goes the full duration. I'm just hoping that Volka survives the wrath of Diego Lopes, despite what the odd makers are saying. I think Diego Lopes is slight favorite to win this fight. Maybe not so slight favorite, in all honesty. Diego Lopes, if you've been keeping up with the guy's performances, he's the second scariest fighter in that featherweight division, with all respect to Ilia Topuria. Obviously, he's no longer a featherweight, but we have Diego Lopes and Gian Silva. Those two guys, one of them, or maybe two of them, both of them, will become featherweight champion or champion of some division someday. But Diego Lopes is closer to that mark than Gian Silva, who I think, in all honesty, is the guy that should be fighting big names. He's eventually going to find himself against big names, right? Diego Lopes against Alexander Volkanovski. Despite what the odd makers say, I think Diego Lopes is favorite to win this fight. My reason is age, momentum, right? It's just everything is with this guy: height, reach. And with all respect to Volka, he's coming off of 2 losses. Now, if we were talking about the Volka of 5 years ago, 4 years ago, no, absolutely not. It would not. It would not be so simple for me to pick against Volka. Now, I'm not 100% saying that Diego Lopes is winning the fight. That's not what I'm saying. I can't say that because there's no way for me to find. All I'm saying is that these odd makers, I don't know how they come up with these numbers sometimes. It's absolutely mind-blowing to me. I don't know. Like I said, it's extremely confusing to me. But if you take all the shenanigans out of the picture and you just look at the 2 fighters and the form leading up to this fight, and you look at age and obviously the different points in their career. Obviously, both fighters at different points in their career, I believe. You're going to come to realize that Diego Lopes is favored to win this fight, and probably favored by big margins. Now, will that be the case only the night of UFC 314? Well, Tess, obviously, I don't wish any harm on one of the greatest fighters of all time, Alexander Volkanovski. I'm a huge fan of Volka. But if Volka does not use his fight IQ and manipulate that fight, or finish Diego Lopes somehow early stage of that fight, it's going to be a very difficult night for Alexander Volkanovski. It could be a career-ending night, a matter of fact, right? If you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more.